Good morning and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. My name's Ray, the Market Trader. And before we begin, we'll need to review our risk disclosure here. So we'll just take a peek at the risk disclosure. So just want to run through that here briefly. All right, so just want to remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice or an offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse any security, company, future instrument, or fund. We all understand that the use of this information contained herein is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, and contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. We all understand that future trading does carry a fair amount of risk. It's not for every investor that we should be using risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not indicative of future results. All right. Good morning, Dirk. Good morning, Faye. All right. So we're going to go ahead now and move on and move to our financial news. All right, news portal, and see what kind of news that we have today that could potentially impact the markets. Good morning, Will. All right. So let's take at that. All right. So looking at the financial news here. Okay. So we've received again a pretty heavy day, I would say, in news today. We just gotten the U.S. consumer spending month over month. We got the PCE index year over year, U.S. core PCE price index month over month. All these numbers seem to be in line or above expectations here. Personal income month over month looks like is above expectations. U.S. Real personal consumption also above expectations. So a good amount of news has been reported to the market, and I'm just kind of taking a look here and seeing what the initial reaction was or is to this, and just looks like it's been positive so far. Okay. We still have some inflationary numbers that are going to be coming in here at 10 a.m. today. So that's, again, something that could potentially impact the markets as well. Okay. So good amount of news has been published to the market. Market has reacted. Looks like, at least for now, from what I can tell, has been positive. And we still have the one remaining news event here at 10 a.m. that has a potential of impacting markets here. Okay, so now that we've gotten through the news here, we'll go ahead and turn our attention to the charting platform. Okay, and see what kind of see if we can get some context. Hey, Sunil, how are you? Happy Friday. Right. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Let's see if we can go ahead and turn our attention now to the charting, to the charts here. Let's see if I can go ahead and locate my platform here for a moment. See if I can get that up to display here. All right, so hopefully that's visible to you guys. Just kind of confirming that it is. At least it's visible to me. Assuming that is visible to you. If I can get a 1 in chat, if you do see the my charting platform. Awesome, Dirk. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start off as we normally would with the gold market, since it's already open here. Thank you so much, guys. And you can see here that we've got an inside candle in a market that's continues to the upside. So inside candle indicating that maybe we are, again, it is Friday. Again, normally a day that we don't necessarily make new highs here. Okay, so over the last few days, we've had a little bit in the way of some overlapping candles here. This is kind of left over from some modifications of settings that I've made here. So let's see, up and down. We'll go ahead and change here to the right. We'll make this both yellow. Okay. Okay, this looks a little better. Okay. All right. So again, as I was saying, that the market over the last couple of days has been a bit rangy of late. We still remain in an upward trend. Okay, we still remain in, I would say, in an upward trend, but maybe there is a little bit of loss of momentum here, maybe to some degree. Okay, so we've been, I would say, on the daily chart, chat ranging of late. Okay. All right. So let's take a look and take a peek here at the 4-hour chart. Let's see what the 4-hour chart is telling us here. It's telling us much the same. Okay. Again, that rangy kind of price action that I had mentioned, and on the daily, again, we got more candles and we have the same kind of price behavior here. Okay. So let's go ahead and remove some of our drawings here. All right. So again, you can see that the market has been a little bit in the range of late. Maybe even beginning to maybe see some signs of some bearish structure here. Right. So we had a rejection here right around the 3,800 level. We got to a high of 38.20, and now we kind of sold off a bit from 38.20. Came back to that same level around 38.20 and was met with some sellers. Okay. So again, lower low, lower high kind of structure here so far. And we've gotten to, a lower high, right? Again, now the question is, can we get a lower low before we get a higher high? That's kind of the question that I have in my mind right now. So right now, again, I'm seeing a little bit of bearish, price action on the 4-hour chart. I still think that the market is still, still in somewhat of over on the higher time frame, probably still a bit in. This feels more like a consolidation than an impulsive move to the downside so far. Okay, so let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. Let's see what context we can generate here from the 30-minute chart. And again, we're seeing a lot of the same, right? A lot of overlapping candles around these areas of high volume, okay, indicating, and we are inside value. So again, all indications that we are in some sort of consolidation pattern, right? Some sort of consolidation, not really in any one direction. We don't have any sort of aggressive buying or selling going on at this point, right? The balanced kind of price action that's taking place here. So we're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. We'll take a look and see and compare where price is in relation to yesterday's price action. So we'll go ahead and locate yesterday here. Okay, we're going to start with the 830 bar, and we're going to drag it over to the 430 bar here. And you can see while we are in some sort of range, we still are above, right? We are still above the price from yesterday. Okay, so that's kind of indicating to some degree that that we maybe have some buyers who are willing to pay a premium to be a part of this market. Okay, so again, you can see here we got a push to the upside. We came back to the point of control, which is often happens. We got another push to the upside, and this time we didn't make it back down to point of control. We made it back. Well, we did make it back a point of control, but not this point of control. We made it to the point of control that was established by the visible range. Again, another area, and also at this value area high, which also gave us maybe another impulsive move, or looked what appears maybe at the beginnings of maybe an impulsive move here to the upside. Okay, I would say the area of relative importance that we need to get above if we really are going to change this market from maybe a market that's been a little bit on the bearish side to a market that maybe is going to restore this bullish behavior, is that we need to get above this 37.90 level. If we cannot get above 37.90, then it looks like we are in some sort of consolidation pattern here, right? So I'm looking at this and I see a kind of a triangle pattern that's forming here, okay, closer to the apex. So there is a move. There is a move that's coming, okay? The question is, I really don't know which direction that's going to be. Looking at this most recent swing, well, I have to believe that maybe it's going to be to the downside. Okay, maybe that move is going to be a move that continues in this direction. So that's something that I'm seeing on the 30-minute. So let's take a look and see what the initial balance ranges are offering us here. See if any other insights we can kind of pull here from these markets, because at the end of the day, we're trying to get as much context from the market to help us with arriving at direction here. Okay. Good morning. All right. So let's take a look and let's see if I can navigate this a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the initial balance range from the Asia session. Let's see what the participants were able to do with price during Asia. Okay, so there's Asia. All right, so really initially was kind of, again, similar to that view that we've had so far. A bit of range. They did extend it to the upside, but immediately came back inside the area of balance. And now those buyers, maybe that kind of stepped in here around 37.70, are still here, right? It doesn't appear that they've left necessarily. Okay. Taking a look at the London. Okay, we'll take a look at London here and see what London was able to do with this market. And London, again, similar to what we were saying, right? Again, we managed to get above. I can't say that necessarily it's the strongest bullish move that we ever seen, but it still remains above the market. Now we are getting some reaction, right? We are getting some reaction at the top end of this trend line. Okay, so again, yeah, a little bit of chop suey, right, Aslan, right? Not a market that we want to be necessarily super aggressive in participating. So in any case, we are getting some reaction of this line. Okay, I don't know, maybe we'll get another leg here, maybe down to 37.76. I'm going to go ahead and open up the initial balance for the current range or current session, and see what kind of reaction we got from the news that we got this morning. Okay, so pretty good, I would say, pretty good size initial balance range. Okay, relatively wide initial balance range that we received as a result of that news event. Okay, trying to see if I could make this bigger here so it's a little bit more visible. Okay, IB still forming. Yes, IB is still very much forming. Okay, but already, right, we have a pretty wide range, right, from 37.76 all the way to 37. So 10-point range. Yes, Faye. Yeah, technically the range is from 820 to 920, right? 820 to 920 is the range. So that's the range. I technically start from the 830, okay? But technically it does start from 820 to 920 for gold, okay? So relatively wide range. Again, we have to be, I guess, somewhat careful here. Yeah, exactly, Aslan. A wide range could indicate that we could remain in range here for, again, today, right? So that's something to keep in mind. Now, maybe if you wanted to entertain something, on the edges of the initial balance range, if it came back to maybe retest the highs here, or if it came back to retest the lows, maybe they could be respectively some sell or buy areas that we can maybe focus in on. These are we have a low volume node here down below. If we were bullish, that could be another area. So we have an area of the profile, right? We're kind of, this area away from, creating a kind of a normal distribution type of volume profile here, right? So it would not be out of the realm of possibility if we spend some time here adding some volume and creating a more, less toothy kind of volume profile here on the right-hand side. So right now, I would say, I'm kind of neutral, I would say, in the gold market. I'm seeing kind of a lot of overlapping price. Okay. I do see that we are above some of these indications. Maybe off topic, how do you typically handle a trade you're looking at and it makes the move before New York? Our Bob is making the move I have been looking for. I mean, you can certainly take the trade if it's within your wheelhouse. Understand that when the market does open, that could create a little bit of a volatility move in the market. Again, the others could potentially step in. So that's kind of a tough call at the will. I think it would have to really be right aligned with my wheelhouse, right? And I would have to be comfortable with the risk that I'm taking because I know that I'm 5 minutes away from the market opening. So yeah, it'd have to be really, really good. All right. So there's something that maybe people have seen or are kind of reacting to, and they want to get in before the open. So tough call. Okay. So in any case, coming into the market, um, right? Coming into the market, I would have to say that for the gold, again, I guess I'm neutral to bullish based on the price action I'm seeing. Even though we're seeing a lot of overlapping, it's still kind of grinding to the upside here. Okay, I feel like maybe at some point we're going to break to the upside, but if we can't break above 37.90, then we could easily get a swing back to the downside in this market. Okay. All right, so that's kind of what I see in the gold market. We'll kind of pause here to see if there's any questions. We're going to go ahead and move into the crude oil market, which will give us some visibility as to what Anthewil is kind of talking about here. I guess he's talking about this impulsive move. Now, what I don't want to do, Anthewil, is chase. Okay, so if you're seeing the move that you want to see, and you feel like maybe you've come a little bit late to the party, I would say that your best course of action is to wait for some sort of pullback, right? Some sort of pullback and evidence that the buyers are still very much present. I wouldn't chase a move that's kind of, a move that's heading into an area of resistance, right? I would let this kind of candle play out and see if there's maybe a retest of that same level. I'm saying this for crude oil, right? But I expect our Bob is probably, we're probably seeing the same kind of thing, right? So if we are able to hold above, say in this case, 65.30, okay, and we get a nice break with some volume to the upside, then I would like to use maybe 65.30 as an area. Oh, okay. So yeah, you are so coming into the open. Yes, I want to be a little bit more aggressive with my management. Okay, right? I want to be a little bit more aggressive to my management because that could potentially be some folks maybe closing out some short positions potentially, right? Maybe they are short and not seeing what they need to see, and maybe are closing out positions, and maybe they're getting out of the way of the open. Okay, so yes, I would probably be maybe managing a little bit more tightly. We are headed into an area, right? That could create a reversal of some sort. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the crude oil. I thought you were actually entertaining maybe a bullish trade in this market, which would not be out of the realm of possibilities here because we are seeing on the daily chart that we did gap up. Okay. And we've kind of filled in that gap. So again, the 66 levels does appear to be an area of a concern. Okay. If I'm a buyer, right? Because we have not managed to get above it just yet. Okay. So looking at this again, similar to not as similar to gold, but we are seeing a little bit in the way of rangy price action. Okay. Of late, we've been a bit bullish on the crude oil. Like I said, I did secure a bullish trade yesterday in the crude oil. So market does appear to be showing some signs of momentum to the upside, but we're not out of the woods, right, with the bears until we can get above and hold above 65, 60, or as high as 66. Okay. So while we are seeing some bullish price action, we are coming into an area of some resistance. Okay. So let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, again, we are developing a bullish engulfing candle. That's always a positive if we're thinking of maybe looking to take the market higher, right? We want to see evidence of bullish price action. Now, looking at this chart, you can see that we're beginning to make higher highs and higher lows. Okay. OPEC cut oil production earlier today, but we didn't trade fundamentals. We don't. Yeah, but cutting supply, right? Cutting supply is obviously a way of driving price higher, right? So if we get an event like that, and then we have price action to support it, we have to pay attention. Okay. right? So just impulsive move usually to trap. Yeah, we could, easily get an impulsive move to trap some traders in one direction, only to drive price in the other way. Correct. So, but in any case, we want to let price kind of tell us what direction they want to take the market, and then we react to react to it. Okay. So again, maybe not part of the initial move to the upside, but if this does indeed close in the next hour as a bullish engulfing candle, I think that's something I need to make a note of and see how I might be able to get long in the market. Right. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the 30-minute chart. Okay, we are seeing some structure here that maybe is indicating that the market is looking to head higher. We got price above our VWAP, above our 9 EMA. We're starting to break maybe some structure here to the left-hand side. This is our opening candle for the market here, crude oil. Okay, and we are developing yet another bullish candle. Now, certainly, this is still the very first 30-minute candle, right, to establish this range, right? We still need another candle here, right? So again, if we do manage to close above with some volume, right now the volume is not all that great, but the price is moving in that direction. Okay, it will be interesting to see if we do hold this level, because it could offer us a location where we can manage our risk and support a long trade. Okay. So let's take a look here and see what the fixed range volume profile is telling us. I suspect it's telling us that the market is showing some signs of strength to the upside. Okay, so let's locate the start of yesterday's session here and drag that across to the close. And you can see, right, here's another. If we need more evidence, there it is, right? People are willing to pay a premium to be part of longs, right? So we had price close above value. We had price now above our EMA and our VWAP. Okay, so again, giving us some signs here, giving us some signs here that the market is showing some strength to the upside. Okay, right now all the volume right now is coming in. There are 2,000 market orders coming into the buy side, 1,600 market orders coming into the buy side. Okay, so we're in excess, right? More than sellers. Okay, so again, something to keep in mind here. Okay, let's take a look at let's kind of navigate this initial balance here for some other markets here. I'd like to take a look and see what each of these prior sessions were able to do with the initial balance range. So we'll start off with Tokyo or Asia here and see. Okay, looking at Asia. Okay, so you can see at least initially Asia was down, right? The tail end of Asia was down. We were in range for most of the day. Again, we how we say got an extension to point of control here before we reacted up to the upside. Now looking at London, I suspect we're probably breaking up to the upside here. Let's take a look. All right, so London, all right, Asia was down. London is up, right? So right now we're seeing that London, that we're potentially breaking the upside. Again, this area, as you guys all know, right? This area here is initial balance high, right? If we do manage to break above and hold above 65.32 and not close back inside that range, well, yeah, that seems to be a logical area for me to participate in a move to the upside. I don't take the fact that we are able on the 30-minute side to break an area of what was a lot of balance here, right? So right now it seems like we are getting some aggressive buyers. Now, am I willing to take a position right at this moment? No, but I note that we are seeing some bullish price action, and basically I'm going to be waiting here for maybe an opportunity that gives me an opportunity to go long, right? If price remains above initial balance high for London, then yeah, it seems logical for me to look for an opportunity that could take me up to 65.83 and maybe as high as 66. Okay, I'm just kind of looking here to the left here and see if I can locate there it is, 66, right? Would not be out of the realm of possibility here that this move that we're in right now could not reach the 66 level. Okay, all right, So that's kind of what I have for the crude oil market. I think it's a market that is showing some signs of strength, and we need to see if we continue to see signals that indicate that there is strength in this market. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause here for a moment and kind of put on my marketing hat here for a little bit, and encourage those folks who are in chat and have not hit the like button to do so. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, to subscribe. And if you want to be notified of these kind of sessions in the future, go ahead and smash the notification bell. And if you're inclined as well, is if you want to leave a comment or two on to, I guess, indicate to the world on how these sessions are supporting your trading, that's also welcomed as well. Okay, so and then obviously we have a kind of super chat available. If you think I was particularly good today, then that would be welcomed as well. Okay. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and move on to the NASDAQ. I know you guys are all kind of chomping at the bit. Just get Coach Ray. Let's get out of this commodities. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Everybody loves. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the daily here. Let's see what the daily is telling us on the markets. So again, what we were seeing in 4-hour gold bullish flag, 1-hour gold kind of broken cup and handle. All right, Sunil. We'll come back to gold here in a bit. All right. So so again, it kind of looks a little bit. There's look and feel of the gold market. To be honest, I mean, we were seeing a little bit of a pullback, maybe a little bit more range in the gold that we are seeing here on the daily, but price has come to an area of importance, I would say, in the NASDAQ market. So we've had 3 consecutive days of bearish price action, and now we managed to, at least for now, stall the fall, I guess. Okay. This area here around, I don't know, 24,540, 535 seems to be, at least initially, somewhat supportive. Okay. We're starting to see maybe that the momentum to the upside is starting to show some signs of weakness. Okay. Technically, I don't know if maybe you can make a case that we've already broken some structure here to the downside, depending on how you draw this channel here, right? If I do just the kind of this kind of thing right here, then yeah, we could maybe make a case here that we are below, right? We are below this area, right? That's I'm capturing as many of these bodies of these candles as I can, right? And we're right at the edge of this bullish channel here to the bottom. Okay. Now we are seeing, right, that we are at the edge of this area, seeing wicks on both ends. So a little bit of indecision that's taking place in this market. So we're going to go ahead and move into the 4-hour chart here, guys. And looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see that maybe we are developing a little bit of a demand zone here. Okay. I can see that a little bit more clearly here. So this area right here is a little bit of a demand that's being created, right? It's probably going to go ahead and color that in green. Okay. Just to indicate that it is supportive. All right. So, and I'm going to turn off initial balance here for now, because we're looking at it on the London side. I don't want to confuse people to think that the market is open. All right. So we created a little bit of a demand zone here. We are in somewhat of some bearish structure here. So again, as much as I'm inclined, okay, so that was our daily chart. That was our daily channel. You can see that price managed to close below it, right? Below this area. And now we are retesting the bottom of it. Okay. So this would be a logical area. If we are going to maintain this kind of bearish structure, this would be a logical area to have that happen. Okay. If we close back inside, okay, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but should we, I have to always be aware that that's a possibility here, right? If we manage to close back inside, then that would be an indication that we could potentially resume our kind of bullish price action that we're I guess started with back here. Okay. Otherwise, this area could provide us a logical area maybe for a continuation move to the downside. Okay. Let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute chart again, Good morning, DeAndre. Okay, so again, looking at this, again, we got looks like some buyers that maybe have stepped in around the 24,500 level. They managed to hold above 24,600. Now, again, as I mentioned, we're kind of approaching the bottom end of the channel, and also if you look to the left, there are some areas here that have been resistant in the past. This is an area where price kind of sold off the last time, right? And we're coming back to this area, and we have a candle that's developing a little bit of rejection here. Okay, so interesting, right? Right now, right, we're in a bullish channel, right, on the right here, right. You can see that we're in a little bit of a bullish channel here right now. And now the question for me is this going to continue in this channel, or is this going to offer me an impulsive move that's going to break the channel to the downside? So let's take a look at the fixed range volume profile. I'm gonna turn off some of these, or I guess remove some of these areas here, just to kind of give me a clear view of what's taking place. We're going to open up the fixed range volume profile. We're going to take a look here and see what price has done here over in the where is price in comparison to yesterday's price action. Okay, so we'll do that first. Okay, so you can see that we do have some, we did break above value. We did break above value with relatively strong here. I'm just kind of looking at the volume here. So we did looks like we did make an attempt here to break above value, and looks like some sellers have maybe potentially stepped into this market. We didn't really close all that well, right? Now we've come back to this area. All right, I guess we're kind of testing the conviction of some of these buyers right now as we speak. Okay, and seeing if they are able to hold above the value range from Friday, from Thursday. Okay, if we are able to hold above the value range from Friday, that could offer us maybe an impulsive move here to the upside. Okay, right, because we are seeing that price is above our VWAP and above our 9 EMA here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our initial balance here and see what the initial balance has to say about all of this. So we'll start off with the Asia session here. Okay, we're going to turn on Asia here. There it is. Okay, turning on Asia. You can see that Asia was, looks like I'm getting a little bit of interference here with something else. So the top of this, the top of this line here, the initial balance high is also our point of control. So we did get price to exceed the initial balance range to the downside, and also to the upside. Okay, so indicating that it's a little bit of inside some sort of range kind of price action. Looking at London here, let's take a look at London and see. Okay, London looks like we are kind of testing maybe a possibility of an extension, right, to the upside, right? So London price managed to actually, on this one move, probably news driven, all right, news driven move, right, almost reached the 200% extension of this initial balance range. Okay, now we're back to the highs, and I guess testing the conviction of these buyers, right? So if price is able to manage to hold above 24,671, then maybe we will have another leg, to the upside. Okay, that's not out of the realm of possibility, right? If we do start to close back inside initial balance, that would be would be weakness for me. That the buyer, we don't have the participants to drive price further to the upside, then we could get a rotation further lower, right? So we're at an interesting level at this point, right? Initial balance high could offer us a bounce to the upside. Okay, if we get price to close back inside initial balance, then maybe we are in for maybe a leg lower. Now we have to be careful because we are in some sort of kind of range here. Ideally, these areas down below could be evidence of what I'm saying, right? But we do have the initial balance high here, and it's a decision that people need to make, right? So we'll see on the close of this current candle whether we get a bounce or whether we get another candle that would indicate that maybe a 3-bar reversal pattern is in development here. Okay. All right, let's go ahead now and take a look at the ES, and we'll look at it in a similar vein. Okay, we'll start with the daily chart. Daily chart. Okay, again, out of a series of days where we've been bearish, we've managed to kind of, at least for now, develop a bullish candle here. Again, we're still a ways away from these in the market. But again, similar to what we were seeing in the NASDAQ, if I kind of draw my channel here, you know, if we do close to the body, right, bodies of these candles, you can see that we did manage to break below the bullish channel here. Now, does that mean that we are at the beginnings of maybe a move lower? Possible. Okay, if we can remain below this channel, I would say that's a fair view. Okay. But we are developing a bullish candle. Obviously, we wouldn't want this candle to close back inside this channel here. But as long as it remains below this channel, it gives us maybe the possibility of a continuation move here to the downside. Okay. Looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay. Similar to what we were seeing in NASDAQ, also kind of exhibiting itself here in, we're going to go ahead and turn off the initial balance range here for the moment. Okay. Again, we broke the channel here to the downside, and similarly, right? Okay. This is around London time. Okay. We broke down, and then now we see that we are retracing that a little bit. Okay. And we managed to get all the way up to the top of this candle here. Okay. That's not very common. If the sellers were strong here, then they probably would not have allowed price to reach so far into this candle. Okay, so that's obviously some strength here for the bulls. All right, now we're at the top end of this candle. We're starting to see a little bit of selling. We're still below the channel, still a little bit in some structure here, I would say, to the downside. Although we did manage, at least for now, are starting to develop maybe a candle that's closing above our VWAP and our 9 EMA. So still inside some bearish structure, I would say. I'm still not willing to kind of throw in the towel necessarily on the bears, because I do see evidence of that possibility of continuation here. Okay, to the downside. All right. Let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. Okay, the 30-minute chart is probably showing maybe the most bullish, right? I am seeing similar to what we were seeing in the 4-hour and the daily. Here we are. You can see that we are developing a little bit of a demand zone. Okay, so 30-minute chart is probably a bit more bullish than what I was seeing in the daily or the 4-hour. Okay, so we did manage to close above. We've come back to this level not once but twice, and in each occasion we found more buyers. We are well above the VWAP and our 9 EMA. So let's see if I can open up my ribbons here a little bit. And our ribbons are still, we have a ribbon above. So we're right at this purple, which I don't recall what it is. I'm assuming that's the 100-day moving average here. Okay, so we got price above our 20. Tried to get above our 100. That's kind of been met with some sellers. And we still have the 200 MA above us. Okay, so again, kind of mixed. We're kind of mixed. We got some mixed signals here on direction. But I would say that we're right now seeing more evidence at least on the lower time frame, that maybe there is some more bullish kind of price action, especially on the lower time frame. Okay, let's take a look at the fixed range volume profile. And let's see where price is in relation to yesterday's price action. Okay, there it is. So again, we are technically above value. Okay, so again, on this lower time frame chart, I'm seeing some early evidence of maybe that the buyers have maybe stepped in. So assuming that we can stay above the 66.72 level and above all these other indications, then maybe there is a leg that will take us back up to this 200 MA before we see any sort of reversal in price, right? We have levels here at 6,700. Okay, that could offer maybe an area for a location where we could find some sellers here. Okay, Let's take a look at what initial balance was able to do across the various markets. So we're going to go ahead and, oops, that's not what I wanted to do here. We'll close that down. We'll start off with the Asia session, okay, and see what they were able to do. Asia with ES, and Asia was able to take things long, right? So we got a nice extension here to the 200%. We came back to the point of control, and we found some more buyers, and have rallied ever since. Okay, London looks like is about to break their initial balance range to the upside. Okay, so it already has broken to the upside. Now it's reacting away from this initial balance high. So again, on a lower time frame, from a lower time frame chart, I'm beginning to see some evidence that they want to maybe take this market higher. We broke it with this candle. We've broken some resistance here. We have price retesting an area here at initial balance high. If we can get a reversal, right? If we can get a bullish candle to reverse away from this, then we can use this level of 66.75 as an area of where we can place our stops below and look for an opportunity to the upside. Okay, so that's we still have some inflationary numbers that are coming in that could be another catalyst that could drive price higher. Okay, all right. Let's take a look now at the last market, and that the Dow here. All right, so let's take a look at the Dow. And we'll start with the daily chart. And again, the strength of this candle is a bit stronger, I would say, than maybe some of these other markets, right? And again, if I draw that same channel that we drew before, right? Again, maybe not there. This doesn't look like it's a good area for a channel, but let's maybe a little bit closer to the market again. So similar kind of action, right? We're seeing again below channel here, something along those lines. If we expand this maybe out a little further, if we incorporate that, then yeah, we're still very much inside, bullish channel here to the upside. Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say that maybe this is showing a little bit more strength, and I would agree. That is showing a little bit more strength than maybe some of the other equity markets. Okay. For our chart, I'm going to turn off initial balance here for a moment. And you can see that we're inside a bullish channel. We are up at a level that could find some sellers, right? So again, as part of this channel, we are at the lower end. We got a reaction off the lower end. Price is closed above, or working to close its way above the 9 and the VWAP. I'm gonna turn off our MAs here for a moment. So again, looking at this, right? Again, we're seeing some signs of bullish price action. Taking a look here at volume. Volume seems to be aligned with the general direction of the market. So maybe we're getting a leg higher here. I'm not sure. YM seems to be, the Dow seems to be a bit stronger than what I was seeing on the other equities. Okay, so let's take a look at the 30-minute. All right, 30-minute chart. Okay, so there's our evidence here. We're seeing that price remains above our 9, above our VWAP. We're going to go ahead and open up fixed range volume profile and get a sense for where price is in relation to yesterday's price action. And that is also above, right? I would say that is even stronger than what we were seeing, right? We had both I think the ES and the NASDAQ were kind of testing the highs of yesterday, right? And now we can see here really clearly that the Dow is well above the areas of value from yesterday. Okay, indicating that there is a fair amount of strength in this current market. Okay, so let's take a quick look here at the initial balance range, and then we'll make one final pass. We'll make one final pass across all the various markets here. Let's see. Let's find the initial balance tool here. and we'll take a look at Asia, London, and see what they were able to do with this market. So let's start off with Asia. Asia was long. Okay, we got a nice break, got to the 200%, came back to VWAP. So yeah, I mean, this looks kind of like a sustained move, right? Sustained trend to the upside in this in the Dow. Looking at the London, we were kind of so there again a step ahead. I would say the Dow seems to be a step ahead of the other equities. Yeah, Dow was really nice to the upside. Now, is the Dow serving as a leader in the equities? It feels that way, right? Yeah, unlike the other equity markets, this does appear to be a bit stronger than some of the other equities. Okay. All right. Now we are hovering in the NASDAQ in the ES right against this London range, initial balance. Yeah. Are they going to follow suit? Okay. Are they going to follow this pattern that we're seeing on the Dow? So that's kind of the question I have. Are they lagging? It's kind of funny to think that the Dow is that the NASDAQ and the ES are lagging the Dow, but that's what it looks like. Okay. All right. Let's take one final pass across the various markets here and see if any new evidence here. And you can see here, let's change this away from London and into the regular session here. So we'll look at the day session. Okay. So again, relatively wide range here that's been established in the gold market. Okay. So again, we had a kind of indecisive candle to open, followed by maybe even a bit stronger, but we had we have a strong wick above. We have about 3 minutes for this candle to close. So we'll have to see, right? Initial balance is wide, but we are seeing some signs here that maybe we're breaking out to the upside. Okay. How is the correlation between Dow against NQ? Well, they're pretty correlated, Aslan. Generally, the Dow, the NQ, and the ES are very correlated markets. Okay. So, like I said, if we see the Dow is higher, I don't know what to mean. It could be a leading indicator for NQ and ES. Okay, because they're very correlated. It's the gold and the equities that are generally inversely correlated markets. Okay. All right. So I would say that we're seeing a little bit of signs of maybe some strength here. Not super happy with the fact that we're developing, kind of such a large wick here, but we are breaking some structure here to the upside, with this candle here. So that's certainly a possibility. I would say that I'm neutral to bullish. I would say in the gold, crude oil, I would say that I think, looking more bullish as well. Okay. We're looking to see if we can break above this level here. This could also offer us maybe an area or a location for a reversal in price because we are a bit extended. Okay, a bit extended. So I would say that waiting for maybe a pullback to say something like a VWAP or the 9 EMA could be but it does appear like it's trying to head higher. Okay, and across all the equities. We are seeing a kind of a mixed bag, right? The Dow was, as you might recall, we were see if we can open up the initial balance range for London here. All right, if you recall, when we were looking at London, the Dow was well above, right? So now we are getting priced to close back inside, so showing maybe some signs of bearish price action. Okay, so a little bit of a mixed bag here, right? So we have NASDAQ showing some signs of bearish, ES also feeling that way too, I believe. Yeah, there it is, right? Looking to potentially close back inside, right? And then the Dow, right? The Dow is up at the highs. Okay, so a little bit of mixed bag. You don't normally see this, but I would say the NASDAQ and the ES are showing a little bit more signs of weakness, and the Dow is showing some strength. So I don't know necessarily whether that's going to play out or not, but that's kind of what I'm seeing and witnessing on the charts. Okay, so I think that's pretty much what I have for you guys. We'll go ahead and close this this session as we normally close all sessions. So we got NVIDIA, Microsoft are in both. See, daily 5 EMA are acting as resistance now. Yeah. You're talking the NASDAQ? YM has the banks, yes, but many of the big ones are in both YM and NQ. Yeah, so right now we're seeing a little bit of a mix, Vav, okay? A little bit of a mixed sentiment right now. Dow is showing some strength, which is make up a lot of the older companies. Tech is showing some signs of weakness. So it's hard to say now what exactly why that is, right? Maybe there's a flight to safety. Maybe there's a move to more established markets, more established companies, maybe in anticipation of maybe some correction. I'm not sure, Vav, but what I am witnessing is that the Dow is right now showing some strength. Okay, and I'm not seeing the same amount of strength in the NASDAQ. Okay, right? So tech is weak. Tech is weak, right? So we'll have to see. Right now it feels like it wants to head lower. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's it for me. We'll go ahead and close this session. Close this session as we close most sessions. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Okay. So as you exit, if you haven't already, please don't hesitate to hit the likes, the subscribes. You're welcome, Mark. Thank you, Faye. Thank you, Dirk. Yeah. So again, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. And again, guys, it is Friday. We don't need to give if we've had a good week. We don't need ring the bell. If we haven't if we've had a good week, there's no reason to give all our hard-earned capital back to the markets. Okay. And everyone have a nice weekend. And we'll be back at this on Monday. All right. Until then, happy trading.